of the 1987 Formula One World Championship is the Belgian Grand Prix at the Spa-Francorchamp circuit. 4.3 miles round, a high-speed track that winds through the forests of the Ardennes. The rain, which threatened in practice, has held off for race day, but it's cold and overcast. 26 cars come onto the grid. On pole position, Nigel Mansell with the Williams Honda. His Williams Honda teammate Nelson Piquet, recovered from his accident 2 weeks ago in Imola, is second fastest. Third fastest, Ayrton Senna's Lotus Honda. Fourth and fifth, the Ferraris of Gerhard Berger and Michele Alboreto. And sixth fastest, Alain Prost, the reigning world champion, with his McLaren. Seventh is the only Belgian driver in the race, Thierry Boutsen, the Benetton. And Riccardo Pretrezi's Brabham is eighth, ahead of Théo Fabi in the other Benetton and Stefan Johansson in the second Marlboro McLaren. Eddie Cheever and Derek Warwick in the Arrows Megatrons are 11th and 12th fastest. The race is started and then stopped because of an accident. This is the first start. Red light, then a green. And Nigel Mansell makes a clean start, but Ayrton Senna follows him through past Nelson Piquet to take second place. So it's Mansell first, Senna second, Piquet third. As always at this track, there is some bumping and boring at the hairpin that starts the first lap. But Mansell gets away cleanly, followed by Senna, Piquet, the two Ferraris, and Alain Prost. Boutsen is next up. Into the so-called bus stop chicane for the first time. Already Mansell is pulling away from Senna. Piquet and the Ferraris and Prost are next. Down to the La Source hairpin for the second time. And the Belgian driver Thierry Boutsen is in trouble. His car has collided with Berger's Ferrari and there is rear suspension damage. He pulls off the track and stops. So does the Minardi of Adrian Campos. But there's been a more serious accident. The two Tyrrells of Philippe Streiff and Jonathan Palmer have collided. Philippe Streiff's car is completely cut in half. There's damage and wreckage all over the track. Fortunately, neither driver is hurt, but the race has to be stopped so the wreckage can be cleared. In the half-hour gap, Streiff is able to take over the spare Tyrrell, as is Berger, the spare Ferrari, and Thierry Boutsen, the spare Benetton. René Arnoux' Ligier and Andrea de Cesaris in the Brabham have also been damaged at the first start, but they too are in the second start. This time, Ayrton Senna makes an incredible start, elbows Nelson Piquet out of the way, goes round Nigel Mansell and takes the lead. Mansell is second, and Michele Alboreto has got away quickly too, and his Ferrari is third. A bit of bodywork in the middle of the road belongs to Martin Brundle's Zakspeed, but all the cars continue. Senna leads up the hill. Already, Nigel Mansell is attacking from behind in the Williams. Piquet is third, Alboreto fourth, Prost is fifth. As the leaders go down the field, although the handling of his car has been upset, Nelson Piquet leads. Poor Gerhard Berger is in trouble again. This time his Ferrari blows a turbocharger and he has to retire. So as the race settles down, Nelson Piquet's Williams leads, Alboreto's Ferrari is second, Alain Prost is third in his McLaren, and then come the two Benettons of Thierry Boutsen and Théo Fabi. Prost finally takes second place from Alboreto, whose engine starts to smoke, but at the same moment, leader Nelson Piquet also slows, and suddenly Alain Prost is in the lead. Alboreto parks the Ferrari. Piquet is spluttering round to his pit, and so it's first Prost, second Théo Fabi. Nelson Piquet comes in for attention. They work on the car and manage to get it going, but it's never right again. That leaves Théo Fabi's Benetton second, Stefan Johansson's McLaren third. Leader Alain Prost comes in for his tyre stop. It goes perfectly and he rejoins the race without losing the lead. Nigel Mansell, however, comes in to retire and goes off to the Lotus pit, where he has an unpleasant argument with Ayrton Senna. The other Lotus is still going well. This is Satoru Nakajima of Japan, having just been lapped by the leader Alain Prost. Théo Fabi continues to slip down the field. Having lost second place to Johansson, he loses third place to Andrea de Cesaris in the Brabham. Alain Prost on his final lap. It's an important race for him because before today he's won 26 Grand Prix. This will be his 27th win, and that equals the all-time record of Grand Prix wins held by Jackie Stewart. However, he nearly falls foul of Philippe Alliot's back marker Lola, which spins in front of him, fortunately without collecting the leading McLaren. So Alain Prost reels off the laps. It's been another smooth victory for him, although helped by the troubles of Senna, Piquet and Mansell. The French in the crowd are delighted. Into the bus stop chicane for the final time. There's the checkered flag for Alain Prost's second Grand Prix win of the year and his 27th of his career. It puts him back in the lead in the World Championship, and it's a good day for McLaren because Stefan Johansson makes it a McLaren 1-2. Andrea de Cesaris, who's done the whole race without a tyre stop, runs out of petrol on the final lap, pushes the car home and still gets third place. Fourth is Eddie Cheever's Arrows, Satoru Nakajima is fifth in the Lotus, and René Arnoux' Ligier is sixth. Alain Prost and Stefan Johansson on the winner's rostrum, with Andrea de Cesaris on the left. In the World Championship, Alain Prost now has 5 points clear of his teammate Stefan Johansson. Nigel Mansell is still third with 10 points, even though he didn't score in this race. Senna and Piquet are equal fourth with 6. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren are now clearly ahead of Williams Honda by 15 points. Lotus Honda are third. The next round is Monte Carlo,